The secret of a long and happy life. Somewhere in the islands of Japan, there are people who live beyond 100 years. They smile easily, move slowly, and wake up each morning with a quiet purpose. The Japanese call this purpose Ikigai, Shikigai, the reason you wake up in the morning. Ikigai is not money, fame, or power. It's the small joy hidden inside every day. The conversation with a friend, the warmth of morning sunlight, the sense of being needed, even in small ways. The authors, Hector Garcia and Francesc Miralles, traveled to Okinawa, a Japanese island known for its long-living people, to discover the secret behind their peaceful, happy lives. And what they found was not a miracle diet or a secret pill. It was a way of being. Chapter 1. The Secret of Ikigai. Soft rain touches the leaves. A temple bell rings in the distance. Somewhere deep in Japan, people live longer, smile more often, and move with peace in their hearts. Their secret is not in medicine or wealth. It's in their way of life, a word that carries ancient wisdom. Ikigai. Ikigai means the reason for being. It's the quiet spark that makes you wake up in the morning with purpose. For some, it's creating art. For others, raising children, planting flowers, cooking, or helping others. Ikigai is not always grand or visible. Sometimes it's just a small sense of belonging, a silent joy that says, "This is why I am alive." Researchers traveled to Okinawa, Japan's island of longevity, where many live past 100. They discovered that these people share a similar way of living. They eat lightly, laugh easily, and stay active even in old age. They work, dance, and garden, not because they must, but because they love to. An old Okinawan woman, 102 years old, explained her secret in a single sentence. "Every morning, I smile and eat tofu soup." In that short line hides an entire philosophy. Happiness doesn't come from great moments. It grows quietly through small, joyful habits repeated every day. Ikigai is found where your passion, your talent, your service, and your livelihood meet. What you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, what you can be paid for. In the middle of those four, that's where your Ikigai lives. Most people spend their lives chasing goals, but the Japanese way teaches us to slow down, to enjoy the path instead of rushing toward the end. You don't have to find your Ikigai tomorrow. It's already within you, waiting quietly, like a flower ready to bloom when you finally stop hurrying. In Okinawa, there's no word for retirement. People don't stop working because they grow old. They keep doing what gives them meaning. A fisherman keeps fishing. A teacher keeps teaching. A farmer still tends to the soil. To have Ikigai means to never lose curiosity, connection, and care. The more you serve others, the stronger your Ikigai becomes. It's the art of living with intention, even in the smallest things. So, what is your reason for waking up? What brings you quiet joy even when no one sees it? That is where your Ikigai begins to breathe. And as the people of Okinawa remind us, only staying active will make you want to live 100 years. Chapter 2. The Island of Long Life. Morning rises over the island of Okinawa. The sun floats gently over the sea, and a soft wind carries the sound of laughter. It is peaceful, slow, and deeply alive, as if time itself moves differently here. This island, lying far south of mainland Japan, holds one of the greatest mysteries of human life. Why do so many people here live past 100 years, yet stay healthy, smiling, and strong? Everywhere you walk, you meet elders whose faces are marked with wrinkles of laughter. Their eyes are calm, filled with light. In the small town of Ojimi, known as the Village of Longevity, it is not rare to find people aged 90 or 100 still cooking, gardening, or chatting with friends under the banyan tree. Researchers came from around the world to study them. They called these people supercentenarians, those who live beyond 110 years. Yet when asked the secret, the locals never speak of science or medicine. They speak of life. One woman, 103 years old, smiles and says she begins every morning with green tea and gratitude. Another man, 97, still walks to his garden at sunrise to water his vegetables. He says it gives him peace to see something grow. A group of old women gathers in the afternoon to sing folk songs and dance, their laughter filling the air like birdsong. The Okinawans live with a sense of connected rhythm. They eat simple food, fresh vegetables, tofu, rice, and fish. They stop eating before they are full, following the ancient rule called hara-hachi-bu, which means eat until you are 80% full. This small act protects them from disease, keeps their digestion light, and their energy balanced. But food is only part of their secret. Their real strength lies in community. Every Okinawan belongs to a small circle of friends called moai. A moai is a lifelong social group, people who support each other emotionally and financially. When someone is sick, the others bring food. When someone is lonely, they visit. When someone's garden blooms, everyone comes to celebrate. Loneliness, which slowly kills people in modern cities, is rare here. No one feels useless because everyone has a place and a purpose. In these villages, the rhythm of life flows naturally between work, rest, and connection. Elders are respected, not ignored. They are living libraries, storytellers of wisdom and humor. Children learn from them, and in return, the elders feel needed, loved, and alive. Okinawans also practice yuimaru, a spirit of cooperation and sharing. When one family harvests vegetables, they share them with neighbors. When someone's roof needs fixing, the village helps together. This spirit of togetherness keeps their hearts light and their minds peaceful. In the city, people chase independence. In Okinawa, people choose interdependence, a quiet web of connection that holds them safely through the storms of life. Their days are simple, but filled with ritual. Morning begins with a small bow to the sun, a moment of thanks for another day. Breakfast is slow, often shared. After meals, they tend to gardens, work with their hands, or walk to the market. Afternoons are for rest or conversation. Evenings for laughter, music, and sometimes a little wa mori, Okinawa's local rice wine. They do not rush. They do not multitask. They live with presence. In this presence, time stretches. It's not about living longer, but about feeling fully alive every single day. And maybe that's why they live longer, because they are never wasting time in worry. Their happiness does not depend on success, comfort, or control. It grows from gratitude, simplicity, and relationships. The authors notice something profound. Okinawans rarely talk about stress. They face challenges, loss, illness, hardship, but they face them with acceptance. Instead of fighting life, they flow with it, trusting that each moment has its own place. When asked what makes them happy, one elderly woman answered softly, "Being surrounded by people I love. Eating with them. Talking with them. That's enough." In that one sentence lies the essence of Japanese wisdom. Ikigai is not an achievement. It's a state of harmony. The longer the researchers stayed, the more they realized that these people were not just living longer. They were living lighter. They didn't have many possessions, but they had everything that mattered. They were not rich, but they were not poor either. They had what they needed, and that was enough. At sunset, the villagers often sit together outside their homes. They talk, laugh, and share stories of the old days. As the light fades, the sound of insects fills the air, and a deep peace settles over everything. No screens, no rush, noise, just people, together, alive. To the modern world, this may seem slow, even uneventful, but to them, it is sacred. They have found the art of living with time, not against it. Perhaps that is why, when asked about death, the elders do not fear it. They see it as another part of the natural rhythm, like the tide returning to the sea. Until that moment comes, they live each day as fully as possible, without hurry, without regret. The island of Okinawa teaches us something profound. Long life is not a gift of luck. It is a result of balance. A balanced diet, balanced mind, balanced heart. It's not about adding more years to life, but adding more life to years. Ikigai blooms naturally where joy, community, and simplicity meet. And in that gentle harmony, a century passes like a calm breeze. So when the sun sets over Okinawa and the waves whisper softly against the shore, you can almost feel it. The quiet heartbeat of a people who have learned the true rhythm of happiness. They remind us that longevity is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the number of peaceful moments we truly live. And Chapter 3, The 10 Rules of Ikigai. The people of Okinawa do not live by written laws. They live by quiet rhythms passed down through stories, habits, and example. Their wisdom is not taught in schools, but learned in gardens, at family tables, and during long evenings of laughter. Researchers who lived among them noticed patterns, small daily actions repeated across generations. From these patterns, the authors gathered 10 gentle rules, not as commandments, but as simple truths. These are the 10 rules of Ikigai, the essence of how to live well, live long, and live with joy. Rule 1. Stay active. Don't retire. In most of the world, people dream of retirement. They wait for the day when they can finally stop working. But in Okinawa, no one retires because no one sees work as a burden. To them, work means purpose. It means connection. The old fisherman still mends his nets at dawn. The elderly woman still tends her garden and sells flowers at the market. Their hands move slowly, but with grace. Their hearts are calm. When people stop using their abilities, their spirit begins to fade. Staying active keeps both body and soul alive. You do not need to work endlessly or chase wealth. You simply need to do something meaningful, something that makes you feel useful, even in small ways. To stay active is to stay connected to life itself. As long as your heart beats, there is something you can give. Rule 2, take it slow. Okinawans move through life as if time were a soft breeze. They walk slowly, eat slowly, talk slowly. They do not hurry to finish, they simply do. Modern life teaches us to rush, to fill every moment with noise and action. But when you slow down, you begin to notice the warmth of sunlight, the sound of your breath, the beauty in a simple meal. Taking it slow doesn't mean laziness. It means grace. It means giving your heart enough time to catch up with your body. It means understanding that peace grows only where speed ends. The people of Okinawa live long because they never hurry to live. Rule 3, don't fill your stomach. There is an old saying in Okinawa, hara hachi bu. It means eat until you are 80% full. It's a small rule with immense wisdom. By stopping before the stomach is full, the body stays light, digestion remains gentle, and energy flows freely. They eat slowly, chewing carefully, enjoying every flavor. Their meals are simple: rice, tofu, miso, fresh vegetables, and fish. Rarely do they eat in excess or out of boredom. Food is seen as fuel, not distraction. This mindful eating keeps the heart strong and the body young. It reminds us that real satisfaction comes not from more, but from enough. Rule 4. Surround yourself with good friends. No one in Okinawa lives alone. From childhood to old age, they belong to a small circle of friends, called a moai. A moai is more than friendship. It's a lifelong bond. They meet regularly to share food, stories, laughter, and support. If one person falls sick, the others care for them. If someone faces loss, the moai stands beside them. This circle of connection gives life its meaning. Science now confirms what Okinawans always knew: that friendship strengthens the immune system, reduces stress, and extends life. To surround yourself with kind people is to build a wall against loneliness. To be part of a moai is to know that no matter what happens, you are never alone. Rule 5. Smile everywhere in Okinawa. Smiles bloom like flowers. Even the elderly with faces marked by time carry light in their expressions. A smile is more than a gesture. It is medicine. When you smile, your brain releases calmness. When you smile at others, you invite warmth back to yourself. Okinawans smile through work, through storms, through challenges. They see life as a gift, not a battle. A smile becomes their silent prayer of gratitude. No matter how small your joy may seem, let it show. A single smile can change the energy of an entire room. Rule 6. Reconnect with nature. In Okinawa, the border between human life and nature is invisible. Gardens blend into the forest, and homes open toward the sea. People walk barefoot on the earth, feel the wind on their skin, and speak softly to plants as they water them. They know that nature is not a place to visit. It is where we belong. They find peace in the rhythm of the seasons: spring blossoms, summer rain, autumn harvest, winter rest. To live in harmony with nature is to remember that we, too, are part of it. Our breath is borrowed from the trees. Our food comes from the soil. Our peace depends on balance. Spend time under the open sky, and you will remember your true home. Rule 7. Give thanks. Every morning, Okinawans give a moment of gratitude, not as ritual but as truth. They thank the earth for its fruits, the ancestors for protection, their neighbors for kindness, and life itself for another sunrise. Gratitude fills the heart with calm. It replaces worry with wonder. Even in difficult moments, they find something to appreciate: the lessons of hardship, the chance to try again, the strength to endure. When you give thanks daily, you begin to see abundance everywhere. And the more you thank, the more life gives you to be thankful for. Rule 8. Live in the moment. The Japanese have a beautiful phrase, ichigo ichi. It means this moment, once in a lifetime. Every encounter, every sunrise, every smile happens only once. To live fully, we must live now, not in yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries. Okinawans understand this deeply. They do not chase the future. They honor the present. When they eat, they taste. When they listen, they truly hear. When they rest fully. To live in the moment is to touch eternity for an instant. It's not how long you live that matters. It's how present you are while living. Rule 9. Follow your Ikigai. Each person carries a purpose, a reason for being, their Ikigai. It doesn't have to be grand or loud. It might be tending a garden, raising a child, teaching, creating, or simply bringing joy to others. The secret is to find what makes your heart feel alive and do it daily. When you act from Ikigai, time disappears. Effort feels light. You lose yourself in what you love, and in that flow, you find life itself. Okinawans never ask, when will I stop? They simply keep doing what brings them joy, for as long as they can. That is why they live so long, because they never stop living. Rule 10. Never stop learning. Even at 90 or 100, Okinawans remain curious. They learn new songs, new crafts, new recipes. Their minds stay open like young students. Learning keeps the spirit flexible. It keeps pride soft and wonder alive. When we stop learning, we begin to shrink into routine. When we keep learning, we expand. We remain awake to the miracle of being alive. The journey of Ikigai never ends. It evolves with every stage of life. The 10 rules of Ikigai are not strict doctrines. They are gentle reminders that happiness is not found in extremes, but in balance. A life of movement, gratitude, simplicity, and connection becomes a long life naturally. You don't need to move to Okinawa to live this way. You only need to slow down, open your heart, and begin where you are, with one smile, one friend, one moment, one small act of purpose. And when you live that way, you too begin to feel the quiet power of Ikigai, the sense that every day, no matter how ordinary, is a precious gift worth living fully. Chapter 4. Flow, the joy of being immersed. Imagine an artist sitting before a canvas. The morning sun spills across the floor, and the world outside begins to stir. But inside, the room is silent. The painter lifts the brush, and slowly the colors begin to move. Minutes pass, then hours. Yet the artist doesn't feel time. There is no hunger, no distraction. Only the brush, the color, and the quiet rhythm of creation. That state, where the boundary between the self and the task disappears, is called flow. It is one of the purest forms of happiness a human can experience. It is not about excitement or comfort, but absorption, when your whole being becomes one with what you are doing. The quiet secret of happiness. In Okinawa, people experience flow not through luxury or success, but through simple acts. A fisherman repairing his net, a grandmother weaving straw hats, a child building a kite from old paper. Each of them lost in focus, calm in concentration. They are not working for reward or praise. They are doing what feels natural, and that is the essence of flow. When you find something that absorbs your heart completely, you stop thinking about yourself. You stop worrying about the past or the future. You become present. In that stillness, happiness appears quietly, like the reflection of sunlight on water. The science behind flow. Psychologists call this optimal experience. In the 1970s, the researcher Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi studied thousands of people. Artists, athletes, scientists, chefs, and even factory workers. He discovered that people feel happiest not when they are resting or celebrating, but when they are deeply focused on something meaningful. Their attention becomes narrow, their heartbeat steady, and their sense of time distorted. In those moments, the mind is fully alive, free from anxiety, boredom, or fear. This state doesn't depend on wealth or talent. It depends only on one thing: doing something that challenges you but doesn't overwhelm you. When the difficulty of a task matches your skill, you enter the flow zone, a perfect balance between calm and alertness. How flow connects to Ikigai. Your Ikigai, your reason for being, often hides inside your moments of flow. Think about the times you lost track of time, when you were so immersed that hours felt like minutes. Maybe it was when you cooked, when you fixed something, when you played an instrument, when you taught someone, or when you built something with your hands. Those are not random moments. They are clues, signals pointing toward your Ikigai. The Okinawans know this intuitively. They don't talk about passion or career goals. They simply follow the joy of immersion. Their lives are filled with small moments of flow, tending gardens, crafting tools, sharing stories. Through those acts, they find peace, purpose, and longevity. Finding your flow. To live in flow is to live with intention. It doesn't happen by chance. It happens when you design your life around what matters to you. Start by asking yourself, what activities make me forget the clock? What work feels both effortless and absorbing? What brings out my quiet focus? Once you recognize those moments, protect them. Give them space. Reduce distractions. When you enter flow, the world's noise fades away and your spirit becomes clear. It's not about being productive. It's about being alive. Even 10 minutes of true focus can change your mood, your energy, and your sense of peace. Simplicity creates flow. In modern life, our attention is constantly divided. Notifications, deadlines, and noise pull us in 1,000 directions. Our minds grow tired, our hearts restless, but flow can only exist in stillness, when the clutter clears. That is why Okinawan homes are so simple. Wooden floors, paper walls, clean spaces filled with light. Everything unnecessary is removed, leaving room for calm and concentration. The mind mirrors its surroundings. When the world around you is simple, the world inside you becomes peaceful. From that peace, flow emerges naturally. You can create this same environment anywhere: a small desk by the window, a quiet morning before others wake, a walk without your phone. Flow lives in these small, unhurried moments. Flow in everyday life. You don't need to be an artist or a monk to live in flow. You can find it in washing dishes, in cooking, in cleaning, in gardening. When you bring mindfulness to a simple task, it transforms. You begin to feel the texture of the plate, the scent of soap, the rhythm of water. Time softens. Thoughts quiet. Everyday activities can become meditation if done with full presence. A man in Okinawa once said, "I've washed the same bowls for 60 years, and each time I discover something new." That is flow, the joy hidden inside the ordinary. Losing and regaining flow. Flow is delicate. It can vanish when we worry, compare, or chase results. It disappears when our attention is scattered. To regain it, return to the breath. Return to what is in front of you. Forget perfection. Forget outcome. Just begin again. Even the masters of Ikigai understand this. Focus is not something you hold forever. It's something you return to, again and again. Like waves on the shore, flow comes and goes. Your task is simply to stay open, patient, and ready when it arrives. The gift of flow. In flow, time loses meaning. The past fades, the future dissolves, and only now remains. You are no longer the doer. You become the doing. This is why people who live with Ikigai seem so calm. They are not running after happiness. They are flowing with it. When you do what you love with full attention, you begin to feel the pulse of life moving through you. It's the same energy that moves the sea, the same rhythm that grows the trees. It's the force of being itself. And in those moments, you and life are one. Flow is not a place you reach. It's a way you move. It's not found in escape, but in engagement. It doesn't require silence, but presence. If you can live each day with small moments of flow, while cooking, writing, helping, or simply breathing, you are already living your Ikigai. The secret is simple. Do what you love. Do it with your whole heart. And let the world fade away until only joy remains. Chapter 5. Masters of Longevity. On a quiet island surrounded by the turquoise waters of the East China Sea lies the Japanese prefecture of Okinawa. The air here feels different. Lighter, warmer, softer. The mornings begin with birdsong and the distant hum of waves brushing against coral shores. And here, among these peaceful landscapes, live some of the oldest and happiest people in the world. Men and women who have crossed 100 years of life, still rise with the sun, still smile at their neighbors, still tend their small gardens. They are not rich in gold or possessions. They are rich in time. They are rich in spirit. These people are often called the masters of longevity. They carry in their daily lives secrets that no book or science alone can fully explain. But through gentle observation, we begin to see the quiet truths behind their long, graceful years. The morning of the centenarian. Imagine an elderly man named Mr. Uemura, 103 years old. Each morning, he wakes before dawn, opens his window to the sea breeze, and bows his head in gratitude for another sunrise. He eats a small breakfast: rice, miso soup, a few slices of papaya. Then he walks outside to tend his vegetable garden. His hands, though wrinkled, move with strength. He plants seeds with care, speaking softly to the soil, as if greeting an old friend. His neighbors wave as they pass. He laughs easily. When asked about the secret of his long life, he smiles and says, "I wake up every day with something to do. That is enough." There is no magic potion, no complex formula, just rhythm, purpose, and peace. The heart of connection. In the small villages of Okinawa, everyone belongs to a moai, a circle of lifelong friends. They meet often, share meals, exchange laughter, and support one another through every season of life. This community bond is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. When someone is sick, others bring food and comfort. When someone loses a loved one, the moai gathers around them like a soft blanket. In moments of joy, they sing together, dance together, grow old together. Science now confirms what they have known all along, that deep social connection reduces stress, strengthens the immune system, and increases life expectancy. But the Okinawans never pursued this for health. They simply lived it, because love and friendship were part of their natural rhythm. No one dies alone here, because no one ever truly lives alone. The food of life. Longevity begins on the plate. Their meals are small, colorful, and filled with freshness. Sweet potatoes, tofu, seaweed, green tea, and vegetables grown in their own gardens. Meat and sugar are eaten sparingly, almost ceremonially. And most importantly, they practice hara hachibu, eating until they are only 80% full. This small act of restraint keeps the body light, the mind clear, and the heart steady. Instead of feeling full, they feel balanced. Meals are eaten together, talk, and share laughter. Food is treated as a gift, not a habit. Their diet is not a strict plan. It's a relationship with the earth. Every bite is a reminder that life comes from nature, and we are part of it. The Garden of Longevity. If you walk through Okinawa's villages, you will see gardens everywhere, not as decoration, but as devotion. Each garden is a story of care. Rows of green onions, patches of turmeric, bushes of herbs for healing teas. The elderly bend slowly to tend the soil, their movements gentle and unhurried. They touch the earth every day, and in return, the earth gives them vitality. Gardening is more than exercise. It's meditation. It's a dialogue with life. Patient, slow, and deeply fulfilling. When scientists visited Okinawa, they found that even people in their 90s spent hours outdoors daily, moving, breathing, smiling. This daily motion, not intense, not forced, but natural, keeps their bodies supple and their hearts strong. Movement here is not about fitness, it's about flow with life. The mind that stays young. Aging, for the Okinawans, is not a loss. It's an unfolding. Each year adds not weight, but wisdom. They believe the mind must stay curious, active, and creative. Even at 90 or 100, they keep learning new songs, new crafts, new stories. One elderly woman, known as Grandma Fumiko, aged 104, learned how to paint when she was 95. When asked why she started so late, she laughed, "It wasn't late. I just hadn't begun yet." That is the secret. They never say, "It's too late." Their hearts remain open to the possibility of today. That openness keeps the soul young. The art of balance. Longevity is not achieved through perfection. It's achieved through harmony. The people of Okinawa live balanced lives between work and rest, solitude and community, seriousness and play. They rise with the sun, sleep early, eat light, move daily, and laugh often. They pray, they sing, they honor their ancestors, and they thank life for what it gives. Each part of their day is small, yet meaningful. Each moment has its own quiet importance. They live not by the clock, but by the rhythm of nature. Their hearts beat in tune with the wind, the rain, and the waves. When life is lived in balance, health becomes a natural result. The power of belonging. One of the most powerful threads that holds their long lives together is belonging. They don't see themselves as isolated individuals. They see themselves as part of something larger. Family, friends, nature, and ancestors. Their homes often have small altars honoring those who came before them. Every morning, they offer a prayer, a flower, a cup of tea to their ancestors. It is not worship, it is remembrance. A way of saying, I come from love, and I continue that love. This deep sense of belonging removes the fear of death. They don't see death as an ending, but as a return to the earth, to memory, to the eternal circle of life. When fear fades, peace takes its place. The gentle spirit of humor. Perhaps one of the most charming qualities of Okinawan elders is their laughter. They laugh easily, often, and with full hearts. In every gathering, jokes are shared, stories retold, laughter rippling through generations. Even in difficult times, they find reasons to smile. One centenarian, when asked about her long life, said with a twinkle in her eye, "I have wrinkles because I've smiled too much, and I plan to get more." That lightness of heart is medicine. It reduces tension, invites joy, and keeps the mind clear. The lesson is simple. Take life seriously, but never forget to laugh. The legacy of a long life. When asked what they wish to leave behind, most Okinawan elders do not speak of wealth or property. They speak of kindness, of good memories, of laughter shared. Their legacy is not in things, but in presence. The peace they carried in their hearts becomes the peace they give to others. Their joy becomes a seed planted in younger hearts. And so the cycle continues, one generation quietly teaching the next how to live well, live long, and live kindly. The lesson of the masters. If you ask them the secret of longevity, each will answer differently. Eat well, move often, love your friends, don't worry too much. Keep a purpose. But beneath all these answers lies one truth. They live in harmony with life itself. They don't fight against age, time, or change. They flow with it. They welcome it. They understand that life is not a race to win, but a journey to walk gracefully. And because of that, they live longer and better. When you listen to their stories, you begin to realize something profound. Longevity is not the goal. Longevity is the result, the natural outcome of a life lived with balance, gratitude, and purpose. The masters of longevity are not chasing time. They are savoring it. Each day, each meal, each smile, each dawn. That is their real secret. They do not seek to add years to life. They simply add life to each year. Chapter 6, Resilience and the Art of Wabi-Sabi. The rain falls softly over the old wooden houses of Okinawa. The roofs glisten, the gardens breathe, and the air smells of wet earth and jasmine. Inside one of these quiet homes, a woman named Haru sits near the window, repairing a cracked teacup. The cup once belonged to her mother. It slipped from her hand last spring and broke into several pieces. But instead of throwing it away, Haru took each piece and began to mend it, slowly, lovingly, using a golden lacquer. When the cup was whole again, its cracks shone with thin golden lines, beautiful and bright. She smiled softly and whispered, "It's even more beautiful now." That is wabi-sabi, the art of finding beauty in imperfection and strength in repair. It is the quiet heart of Japanese philosophy and one of the deepest sources of resilience in the people of Okinawa. The beauty of imperfection. In our modern world, we often chase perfection. Flawless skin, spotless homes, perfect careers, and unbroken paths. But perfection is fragile. It can shatter easily. Wabi-sabi teaches something different. It says that life's beauty lies not in its smoothness, but in its rough edges, in the small cracks where light can enter. The chipped bowl, the wrinkled face, the weathered tree, these are not signs of loss, but of life lived fully. Every scar tells a story. Every wrinkle holds a smile. Every imperfection is a signature of time, a gentle reminder that everything changes, and that change itself is sacred. When you accept imperfection, peace begins to grow. You stop fighting time and start flowing with it. That acceptance, calm, humble, and quiet, is the root of resilience. The spirit that bends but never breaks. The Japanese have another word for resilience, gaman. It means enduring the unbearable with dignity, patience, and grace. During storms, the bamboo does not resist the wind. It bends, sways, and survives. In the same way, the Okinawans live through hardship with a steady calm. Typhoons come, crops fail, loved ones pass away, yet they remain gentle, patient, and grateful. They do not suppress their emotions. They transform them. Sorrow becomes understanding. Pain becomes wisdom. Loss becomes love remembered. To live with gaman is to know that pain is not the enemy. It's the teacher. The lessons of the storm. When great storms strike the island, people gather together instead of hiding alone. They cook, they sing, they tell stories. They support one another with warmth and humor. After the storm passes, they rebuild slowly, carefully, without complaint. For them, rebuilding is part of life's rhythm, just as natural as planting or harvesting. Resilience here is not about strength in the Western sense. not about power, toughness, or resistance. It is soft strength, quiet endurance, flexible, like water. Water yields to obstacles, but over time, it shapes even the hardest rock. The Okinawan heart is like that, humble yet unstoppable. The beauty of aging. In the philosophy of wabi-sabi, aging is not seen as decay, it is seen as deepening. A weathered teacup, a faded kimono, an old face, all of these carry the quiet dignity of time. The Japanese word sabi means the bloom of time. It's the soft glow that appears when something has aged well, when it has lived long enough to reveal its true essence. To age gracefully is to accept change with gratitude. The skin softens, the hands wrinkle, but the eyes shine brighter than ever, for they have seen more light. Okinawan elders do not fear aging. They walk slowly but proudly. They see each gray hair as a medal of experience. Their laughter lines are maps of joy. They know that growing old is not about losing youth, it's about gaining harmony. The practice of simplicity. Wabi-sabi is also a way of living simply. A home without clutter, a day without rush, a life without unnecessary noise. In Okinawa, homes are small but open. Tatami mats on the floor, a few flowers in a vase, sunlight flowing through paper screens. Every item has meaning. Every corner breathes calm. Simplicity brings clarity. When the outer world is quiet, the inner world begins to sing. To live simply is not to live less, it is to live deeper. When you let go of what you don't need, you make space for what truly matters. Love, health, joy, presence. Had finding strength in change, life by its nature is impermanent. Everything changes, the seasons, the body, the mind, the people we love. Wabi-sabi teaches us not to fear this truth, but to embrace it, because in change lies the essence of life itself. A cherry blossom lasts only a few days, yet in that brief moment it offers unmatched beauty. Its transience is not a flaw, it is the very thing that makes it precious. When we learn to see life like that, as fleeting, delicate, and sacred, we begin to live with more tenderness. We hold each moment softly, knowing it will pass, yet grateful that it ever existed at all. That awareness makes every sunrise, every smile, every breath infinitely valuable. Healing through imperfection. In Japan, when a bowl breaks, it is often repaired through the art of kintsugi, the golden joinery. Instead of hiding the cracks, they are filled with gold, making the object even more beautiful than before. The philosophy behind it is powerful. What was once broken can become more precious, not less. We, too, can practice kintsugi with our lives. We can fill our emotional cracks, our heartbreaks, our failures, our losses, with gold. Not literal gold, but with understanding, forgiveness, and love. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are the proof that you healed. They are your golden lines, your story of resilience. The still mind resilience is not only physical, it begins in the mind. A still mind can endure any storm. Okinawans often begin and end their days with silence. Some meditate, others simply sit by the sea or in their garden, watching the world breathe. They allow their thoughts to settle like dust in sunlight. When the mind is calm, you see clearly. You realize that most problems are smaller than they feel. You stop reacting and start understanding. Stillness is the anchor of resilience. From stillness comes patience, from patience comes clarity, and from clarity comes peace. Resilience also means knowing when to release. Not every battle must be fought. Not every pain must be held. In Okinawa, when the wind carries away blossoms, no one mourns them. They smile and say, they will return next spring. Letting go does not mean losing. It means trusting the rhythm of life. It means believing that endings are also beginnings in disguise. The more lightly you hold on to life, the longer it holds you in return. The golden lesson. Wabi-sabi and resilience are two sides of the same coin. One teaches acceptance of imperfection, the other teaches strength through acceptance. Together, they form the soul of Ikigai, to live fully, gently, and wisely, to find beauty in cracks and peace in storms, to endure with grace and love without fear. Life will break you sometimes, but when it does, remember, you can rebuild yourself with gold. And in those shining lines, you will find not the end, but the beginning of a more beautiful you. Chapter 7. Living with purpose every day. The morning sun rises gently over the sea of Okinawa. Its golden light spills over the water, touches the rooftops, and slowly wakes the island. The air smells of salt and flowers. The village begins to stir. An old man named Aki steps out of his home, stretches his arms toward the sun, and smiles. He is 93 years old, yet his posture is straight, his eyes are clear, and his mind is calm. Every morning, without fail, Aki begins his day the same way, with gratitude. He looks at the sky and whispers, "Another day. Thank you." Then he begins his work, tending his small vegetable garden, feeding his chickens, greeting his neighbors, and playing shamisen in the afternoon with his friends. To outsiders, his life may look simple, but to Aki, it is full. He has his Ikigai, his reason for waking each morning, and that reason is enough. The meaning of everyday purpose. Ikigai is not a grand goal or a distant dream. It's not fame, fortune, or achievement. It's the quiet joy of doing something that gives your life meaning, something that connects you with the world around you. For some, Ikigai is painting, writing, or teaching. For others, it's raising children, cooking meals, helping others, or growing flowers. It can be small or large. What matters is that it brings peace to your heart. The Japanese believe that the simplest acts can hold deep purpose. Peeling fruit, arranging a flower, sharing tea, when done with mindfulness, these become expressions of the soul. It's not what you do that defines your Ikigai, it's how you do it, with care, attention, and love. The rhythm of rituals. The Okinawans live not by schedules, but by rhythms. Their days flow like music, slow, deliberate, graceful. Morning begins with sunlight and movement. They stretch, breathe, and greet their neighbors. Then they eat breakfast, often rice, miso soup, and green tea, a meal simple yet full of life. They don't rush to get things done. They let time move naturally. They stop to watch a bird, to smell a flower, to laugh with a child. This rhythm is not laziness, it's awareness. In Japan, there is a concept called Ichigo Ichi. It means one moment, one meeting. It reminds us that every encounter happens only once and will never happen again in the same way. So every conversation, every sunrise, every smile is a once-in-a-lifetime gift. When you live with this awareness, every day becomes sacred. The power of community. No one in Okinawa lives alone. Even those who have lost family or live far from their children are never lonely. They belong to small social circles called moai, groups of friends who support one another through every season of life. They share food, laughter, worries, and dreams. They take care of each other like family. This is one of the reasons why Okinawans live so long. They are connected. They belong. Modern science now agrees. Loneliness is as harmful to health as smoking or poor diet. But connection, real, emotional connection, heals. It lowers stress, strengthens the heart, and brings joy. In a moai, you are never forgotten. When one person struggles, others help. When one person celebrates, all join in. Purpose grows in community. Because Ikigai is not just about you, it's about us, about living in harmony with others. The joy of small things. Western life often celebrates big achievements, promotions, awards, milestones. But in Japan, joy is found in the small and ordinary. A steaming bowl of miso soup, a clean tatami mat, the sound of rain against paper screens, the laughter of children running through the fields. Okinawans have a word for this kind of simple pleasure, natsukashi. It means the gentle happiness of remembering something sweet. When you live with purpose every day, you begin to notice these tiny joys, moments that might otherwise go unseen. The world doesn't have to be extraordinary for life to feel sacred. It just has to be noticed. Cash. The flow of work. Another secret of the Okinawan lifestyle is how they approach work. They never truly retire, not in the Western sense. Instead, they continue to do what they love at a slower pace. A fisherman may stop going to sea, but he still repairs nets and teaches young ones. A teacher may leave the school, but she still helps children learn to read. Work to them is not a burden. It's an expression of life. This approach keeps the spirit young. When you wake up each day knowing you still have something to contribute, the world still needs you. You still matter. You stay alive inside. Ikigai is the flame that keeps you moving, not out of obligation, but out of devotion. Harmony between body and mind. The Okinawan way of living with purpose is also deeply physical. They move naturally every day. Gardening, walking, cleaning, cooking. Their bodies remain flexible and strong well into old age. They also eat mindfully, never until full. There's a phrase they live by, hara hachibu, eat until you are 80% full. This simple wisdom prevents overindulgence and keeps the body balanced. Their food is colorful, fresh, and seasonal. Vegetables, tofu, fish, green tea, and very little meat. Eating itself is an act of mindfulness, gratitude, and health. In their calm movements, in their balanced meals, in their slow breathing, they align body and spirit. Purpose is not something they think, it's something they live. The art of contentment. Many people chase happiness like a horizon, always running, never reaching. But Okinawans do not chase, they cultivate. Their happiness is not a result of things they own, but of how they see the world. They focus on what they have, not what they lack. When asked the secret to their long, peaceful lives, many elders simply say, "I am content." Contentment does not mean settling for less. It means recognizing that this moment is enough, that you already have everything you truly need to live with peace. When your heart stops searching for more, it begins to rest in gratitude. Finding your own daily Ikigai. Your Ikigai doesn't have to be a single grand mission. It can change with time, grow with you, shift like the tides. Ask yourself, what do I love doing, even when no one is watching? What small act makes my heart feel light? What can I give to the world that only I can give? The answers don't come in noise, they come in silence. Sometimes your Ikigai whispers softly. A feeling, a pull, a warmth when you do something that feels right. Follow that. Nurture it. Make it a part of your everyday rhythm. Gratitude as a way of life. Every day in Okinawa ends the same way it begins, with gratitude. As the sun sets, people sit together, drink tea, and talk about their day. They say thank you for small blessings, the weather, the food, the laughter. One woman, nearly 100 years old, once said, "If you can say thank you for even one thing each day, your heart will never grow old." Gratitude is not just a feeling. It's a practice, a daily act that transforms ordinary life into something extraordinary. When you live with gratitude, every day becomes a gift, not a burden. The circle of purpose. Living with purpose every day means living in rhythm with nature, with others, and with yourself. It means giving, receiving, resting, growing, again and again. Purpose is not found once and kept forever. It is discovered every morning when you wake up and ask quietly, what will make today worth living? And often the answer is simple. A smile, a kind word, a task done with care, a quiet moment of joy. When you live like this, your life becomes poetry, gentle, rhythmic, endless. The last light of day. As the sun sinks behind the hills, Aki finishes watering his garden. The soil is damp and fragrant. He leans on his shovel, looks up at the glowing sky, and smiles again. His life is simple, but his heart is full. He knows that tomorrow he will wake with purpose. He will walk, breathe, eat, laugh, and give thanks, as he always has, as he always will. That is Ikigai. Not the pursuit of greatness, but the art of living each day with grace, love, and quiet joy. Chapter 8. The Secret of Longevity. The morning air in Okinawa is gentle. The wind carries the scent of ocean salt and blooming hibiscus. The sun rises slowly, and the world seems unhurried, as if time itself walks barefoot here. In a small village, a group of elders gathers beneath a banyan tree. They are in their 80s, some in their 90s, a few past 100, yet they laugh like children, voices light, eyes bright, movements graceful. When asked the secret of their long lives, they don't speak of medicine or money. They smile, sip their tea, and say softly, "We just live with joy and never forget to laugh." The Longevity Village. There is a place in Okinawa called Ojimi, often called the Village of Longevity. Here, people live longer than almost anywhere else on Earth. It's common to see centenarians tending gardens, cooking for their families, or walking through the fields with baskets of vegetables. There's no magic herb or hidden secret. The secret is woven quietly into their way of life. They eat simply, they move naturally, they connect deeply, and above all, they live with purpose. Their Ikigai. Each morning, the villagers rise early, greet the sun, and begin their day with gratitude. They stretch, breathe, walk, and talk to their neighbors. Their days are filled with gentle movement, shared meals, and laughter that echoes through the hills. The Okinawan diet, nature's balance. If you walk through an Okinawan kitchen, you'll find no fast food, no processed snacks, and no heavy meat. Instead, you'll see vegetables in every color, tofu, seaweed, rice, fish, and bowls of miso soup. Their plates look like rainbows, bright, varied, balanced. Okinawans eat slowly, mindfully. They practice harahachi bu, Eat until you are 80% full. This simple rule prevents overeating and allows the body to rest and digest. They believe that food is medicine, not just fuel. Every meal is prepared with care, not excess. They season with gratitude more than salt. They also eat plenty of green and gold foods, green vegetables and yellow-orange fruits rich in antioxidants. Sweet potatoes, bitter melons, turmeric, soybeans. These are staples of their diet. Their meals are light, yet full of vitality. Modern scientists have studied this way of eating and found that it reduces inflammation, strengthens the heart, and keeps the body young for decades longer than average. But to the Okinawans, it's not science. It's tradition, a way of showing respect for life itself. Natural movement. In Okinawa, you rarely see gyms or treadmills. Exercise is not something separate from life. It is life. The elders walk everywhere. They squat to plant, bend to harvest, stretch to reach fruits from trees. Their posture remains straight, their steps steady. Their bodies stay strong, not through effort, but through rhythm. They move naturally, constantly, but gently. They garden, they dance, they sweep, they sing. They don't chase youth. They live in harmony with their years. Each movement is slow, intentional, and full of grace. Their secret is not how much they move, but how often. They don't sit still for hours. They live in small, mindful motion, and that keeps their hearts young. The calm of the mind. Longevity is not only about what they eat or how they move. It's also about how they think. In Okinawa, people rarely rush. They don't dwell on anger or regret. They live close to nature, and their minds mirror that calm. They know that stress ages the body, so they practice living slowly. They spend time under the sun, in their gardens, or by the sea. They take naps in the afternoon. They talk for hours with friends. They laugh at small things and forgive easily. When sadness comes, they don't hide it. They sit with it, share it, and let it pass. They trust that each season, even sorrow, has its time and purpose. This emotional balance keeps them young from the inside. Their hearts are light, their souls content. Modern psychology calls this resilience. The Okinawans simply call it life. The social web of longevity. In most parts of the world, aging can bring loneliness. But in Okinawa, aging brings belonging. People grow old together. They meet daily under trees, share tea, sing songs, and talk about their gardens. They celebrate birthdays, even the 100th, as community festivals. Their moai, or circle of lifelong friends, gives emotional and practical support. If one person falls ill, others bring food, care, and laughter. If one feels lonely, others visit. They are never alone. Science has proven that human connection strengthens the immune system and extends life expectancy. But the Okinawans don't need science to tell them that. They've been living it for centuries. Their joy is collective. Their purpose is shared. Their hearts beat in rhythm with others. The lightness of spirit. To live long, they say, your heart must stay light. When asked how they keep their spirits young, an old woman named Yuki laughed and said, "Oh, I don't let worry stay too long. It's like a bird. It can land, but it must fly away." That is the Okinawan way. They feel emotions fully but don't let them control their lives. They trust in life's natural flow. When things go wrong, they say, "Nan kurunai sa," it will be all right. This phrase is more than optimism. It's surrender to peace. It's an understanding that worry doesn't stop pain. It only makes it heavier. So they live lightly. They carry their years like feathers, not stones. Harmony with nature. Okinawa is surrounded by sea, sky, and mountains. Nature is not a backdrop, it's a companion. People plant according to the moon, celebrate the sea, and thank the earth for food. Their homes are built to let in sunlight and wind. They live in rhythm with the seasons, not against them. This connection to nature brings inner peace. When they watch the waves or listen to the rain, they remember how small and sacred life is. Yes, this humility softens the mind and strengthens the spirit. In a world rushing forward, the Okinawans remind us to pause, to breathe with the wind, to eat with gratitude, to walk with awareness. A life of meaning. Longevity without purpose is just existence. But longevity with Ikigai, that's joy. The elders of Okinawa live long because they want to live long. They wake up with reasons. Gardens to tend, songs to sing, children to teach, friends to meet. They have purpose woven into every hour. Their minds stay active, their bodies move, and their hearts remain open. They see aging not as decay, but as deepening. Each year adds more wisdom, more beauty, more life. Lessons for the world. If you wish to live long and well, the Okinawans would tell you simply, eat little, but well. Move often, but gently. Laugh freely and forgive quickly. Stay curious, stay kind, and always, always have something to wake up for. Longevity is not found in medicine or machines. It's found in the quiet rhythm of days lived with care, in hearts that stay young, and in minds that never stop wondering. The evening light. As the sun sets behind the Okinawan hills, the air turns golden. The old friends under the banyan tree finish their tea. They talk a little longer, laugh a little more, and then slowly rise to walk home. Their steps are slow but steady. Their faces glow in the fading light. They've lived nearly a century, yet their spirits are ageless. They've learned the secret of longevity, to live gently, to love deeply, to be grateful always. Tomorrow, they will wake again, smile at the sun, stretch their arms, and whisper softly, "Thank you for another beautiful day." Chapter 9. Lessons from the Centenarians. The sun hangs low over the Okinawan hills. Its light falls across narrow stone paths and wooden homes painted by time. A soft breeze moves through the palms, carrying the scent of sea salt and jasmine. In a quiet village called Ojimi, the village of longevity, life flows as slowly as the tide. Here, the average age is more than 85, and yet the people still laugh loudly, move lightly, and smile with their whole faces. They have seen war, loss, and change, but their hearts are gentle, steady, and full of peace. Each wrinkle tells a story. Each smile hides a century of wisdom. Let us sit with them for a while and listen to what they've learned about the art of living long and living well. The story of Misako. The spirit of gratitude. Misako is 104 years old. Her hands tremble slightly as she pours tea, but her eyes sparkle with mischief. When asked her secret to a long life, she laughs softly and says, "I thank the sun every morning and the moon every night. That's enough." Every morning, Misako opens her window and greets the world. She thanks her ancestors for watching over her. She thanks the plants for giving her food. She thanks the day for beginning. Her gratitude is her daily prayer. When she eats slowly. When she works in her garden, she hums softly. She says every day feels like a gift she must use well, not by rushing, but by enjoying each breath. Her message is simple. Don't let a single day go without saying thank you. Gratitude keeps the heart light. The wisdom of Kenji. Keep moving. Kenji is 101, a former fisherman. His skin is dark from decades of sun and his back is slightly bent, but his hands are strong. Each morning, he still walks to the beach with a bamboo stick. He doesn't fish anymore, but he cleans his old nets and talks to the sea. "The ocean has been my friend since I was a boy," he says. "I talk to it, and it listens." When asked how he stays healthy, Kenji shrugs and smiles. "I move. Every day. That's all." He doesn't go to a gym or follow a routine. He just moves naturally. He walks, squats, lifts, bends, stretches. "The body," he says, "is like a door. If you don't open it often, it rusts." His advice, never stop moving, and your heart will never stop dancing. The laughter of Fumiko. Joy is medicine. Fumiko is 98 and has the loudest laugh in the village. Her friends call her the sunshine. She laughs when she cooks, laughs when she talks, and laughs even when she scolds her cat. When asked about her long life, she shakes her head, still giggling. "Because I never take life too seriously," she says. If you stop laughing, you start dying. Fumiko believes in the power of joy. When her husband passed away many years ago, she cried for 3 days, then decided to honor him by smiling every morning. "Sadness is a season," she says. "It comes, it rains, and then it leaves. Don't build your house in it." Her laughter is her medicine. It keeps her blood flowing, her energy high, and her soul bright. Her message, laugh with others, laugh at yourself, laugh at the wind. Laughter is the secret to youth. The serenity of Haru, acceptance and flow. Haru is 102, a former teacher. Her movements are slow, graceful, and deliberate, like a dancer who knows every step by heart. When her students visit her, she still remembers each name. Her home is filled with calligraphy scrolls and small bonsai trees she has tended for decades. When asked about her secret, she says softly, "Flow with life. Don't fight it." She explains that when you are young, you try to control everything: love, work, future, fate. But the older you get, the more you learn that life has its own rhythm. When you resist, you suffer, she says. When you flow, you find peace. She believes that acceptance, not surrender, is the key to serenity. If you can smile when the rain comes, your heart will never grow cold. The humility of Sho. Always keep learning. Sho is 99. He used to be a carpenter, and even now, his hands move with precision and care. Every afternoon, he sits under the shade of a plum tree, carving small toys for children. When asked why he still works, he smiles. I'm still learning. Every day teaches something new. For Sho, curiosity is life itself. He reads, studies, watches the young, and asks questions. He believes that the brain grows old only when curiosity dies. The moment you think you know everything, he says, you start to disappear. His advice to the next generation: stay a student forever. Curiosity keeps your spirit awake. The kindness of Aiko. The gift of helping others. Aiko is 97. She spends her days visiting sick neighbors and cooking for those who live alone. When asked why she does it, she says, because it makes me happy. Helping others is my medicine. Her Ikigai is kindness. She believes that happiness grows when shared, like a candle lighting another candle. Her smile has comforted hundreds of people through her lifetime. She says, if I can make even one person smile each day, that's enough reason to wake up. Modern science would call this altruism, but Aiko calls it love in motion. The balance of Taro. Simplicity is strength. Taro is 103, a quiet man who lives alone in a small wooden house filled with light. He grows vegetables, cooks his own meals, and prays before every bite. His room is clean, almost empty. That's just a mat, a pot, and a window that faces the rising sun. When asked how he lives so simply, he says, I need little, but I have everything. He believes the more we own, the more we carry, not just in our hands, but in our hearts. So he lets go of what he doesn't need. This lightness, he says, gives him peace. People think strength comes from having more, he explains, but true strength comes from needing less. The spirit of community. All these elders, Misako, Kenji, Fumiko, Haru, Sho, Aiko, Taro, different lives, different stories, but one thread connects them all. They belong. They are part of their moai, their social circle, a lifelong bond of friendship and care. When one is sick, others visit. When one is sad, others bring laughter. When one dies, the community honors them with songs and gratitude, not sorrow. This connection is the invisible thread of longevity, a network of love that holds each heart steady. They say, when we share our lives, our years multiply. The heart of longevity. After listening to these centenarians, a quiet truth becomes clear. Longevity is not about adding years to your life, but adding life to your years. It's not about living longer. It's about living deeper, calmer, and kinder. They don't count their days. They live their days. Fully, simply, joyfully. They don't chase youth, they embody it. They laugh, move, forgive, and love without fear. And in doing so, they live long, naturally. Their collective wisdom. If these elders could speak directly to the world, they would whisper these truths. Don't rush. Time will catch up anyway. Don't hold anger. It poisons only you. Eat lightly, move gently, and rest deeply. Never stop learning, never stop laughing. Love something and love someone. Be grateful for even one breath. And most of all, find your Ikigai and live by it every day, no matter how small. The quiet evening. As night falls over Ojimi, lanterns glow softly in windows. Crickets sing and the sea murmurs in the distance. The elders have gone home. Some reading, some talking, some praying. Their lives are simple but radiant, like candle flames burning gently, lighting the dark with warmth and grace. They remind us that the secret of longevity isn't found in youth, but in peace. Not in medicine, but in meaning. Not in running faster, but in walking with love. Tomorrow, they will wake again, smile at the sunrise, and whisper softly, another beautiful day, I'm still here. Chapter 10. The Purpose of Life. Finding Your Ikigai. The sky over Okinawa is painted gold and pink. The day fades softly into evening. Waves roll onto the shore, steady and eternal, like the rhythm of a long, full life. Here, in this peaceful corner of Japan, the elders have gone to rest, and the cicadas begin their quiet symphony. You sit alone for a moment, watching the sunset, and you realize the entire world seems to breathe in unison. Everything feels connected. The ocean, the wind, the distant laughter of children, and your own heartbeat. This is the moment when the true meaning of Ikigai reveals itself. It is not a secret to be learned. It is a life to be lived. The search for meaning. From the beginning of time, every human heart has asked the same question. Why am I here? It's the quiet voice inside us that whispers late at night. Some search for answers in work, some in family, some in art, and some in faith. But in Japan, they call this quest Ikigai, the reason you wake up in the morning. It is not found in grand achievements or fame, but in the small, beautiful acts of everyday life. It might be painting in the morning light, gardening after the rain, teaching a child, or simply making tea for someone you love. Your Ikigai doesn't shout, it whispers, it hides in the details, and it waits for you to notice. The balance of the 4 circles. Imagine 4 circles, gently overlapping like a flower. Each one represents a part of you. 1, what you love. 2, what you are good at. 3, what the world needs. 4, what you can be paid for. Where all 4 circles meet, that sacred center, that's your Ikigai. But the Japanese elders remind us, you don't need to perfect all 4 to live meaningfully. You just need to wake up every day and move one step closer to the center. When you love what you do it better. When you do it better, it helps others. And when it helps others, you find fulfillment, not just success. Ikigai is the bridge between being alive and feeling alive. The danger of losing purpose. Modern life pulls us in every direction. We chase money, approval, recognition. But in doing so, many people forget why they started in the first place. They wake up one day, surrounded by things, but empty inside. Without purpose, even the richest life feels hollow. But with purpose, even a simple life feels rich. The people of Okinawa understand this. They may not have much by modern standards, but they are rich in spirit because every day has meaning. Every meal, every conversation, every breath belongs to their Ikigai. They don't retire from life. They continue living because they never stop doing what they love. The story of the potter. There's an old man named Hiroshi, a potter from Naha. For 70 years, he has made the same style of clay bowls, simple, unglazed, rough on the edges. Tourists often ask him, "Don't you get tired of making the same thing every day?" He smiles and answers, "Each bowl is the first and the last." To him, every piece of clay is alive. He molds it with patience, feeling its mood, its resistance, its breath. When asked what keeps him working at 92, he says, "My hands still remember how to love." That is Ikigai, the quiet joy of creating something with care, not for fame, but for the beauty of the act itself. The art of living slowly. In the West, people often run toward goals. In Okinawa, people walk with life. They move at a rhythm the world has almost forgotten, the rhythm of nature, the rhythm of peace. Here, nobody rushes through a meal. Nobody counts steps or watches the clock, because when you live with Ikigai, time slows down. When you are fully immersed in something you love, a conversation, a craft, a song, you enter what psychologists call flow. Flow is the river of life itself. You lose your sense of self and become one with the moment. That's why so many centenarians say they never feel old, because they never stopped flowing with life. The purpose beyond self Ikigai is not only personal, it's also communal. It's about contributing to something bigger than yourself. The elders of Ojimi believe that happiness shared multiplies and pain shared divides. When you help others, even in small ways, you expand your world. You dissolve the walls between you and them. A smile, a kind word, a moment of attention. These are not small things. They are threads that hold the human fabric together. Your Ikigai might not be about you at all. It might be about the difference you make in someone else's life. As one 99-year-old woman said, "I live to make my neighbor's day brighter. That is enough." The beauty of impermanence. The Japanese call it wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. It teaches us that nothing lasts forever. And that's not sad, it's beautiful. Flowers bloom, then fall. The moon waxes and wanes. People come and go. The secret is not to hold tighter, but to love deeper, knowing it won't last. When you accept impermanence, you stop chasing forever and start cherishing now. That's the quiet peace at the heart of Ikigai, the realization that every fleeting moment is sacred. How to find your own Ikigai. If you wish to find your purpose, don't look far. Look inward. Ask yourself, what makes me forget time when I do it? What am I naturally good at? What do people thank me for? What would I do even if I weren't paid for it? The answers won't come overnight, But if you listen quietly, your heart will whisper them one by one. Start small. You don't need to quit your job or change your life. You just need to add meaning, a little each day. Maybe it's cooking for your family. Maybe it's helping someone smile. Maybe it's learning something new. Step by step, your Ikigai will unfold, not as a plan, but as a way of being. The gentle ending. As the last light fades over Okinawa, the sound of laughter echoes through the village. Children chase fireflies, elders hum old songs, and the night carries the scent of jasmine and peace. You sit there watching and realize something timeless. These people are not just living long, they are living right. They are not chasing happiness, they are creating it, moment by moment. Their Ikigai is not a secret, it's simply the art of living fully, with gratitude, connection, curiosity, and love. And in that moment, you understand that your Ikigai is already inside you. It always has been. You only needed to slow down, listen, and remember what truly the final words. So as you close this book, take a deep breath. Look around. Feel the air, the sounds, the heartbeat of life around you. You are alive, and that in itself is enough reason to be grateful. Wake up tomorrow with purpose, even if it's small. Smile at someone. Do what you love, even for a few minutes. And whisper softly to yourself, "This is my Ikigai." Because in the end, the purpose of life is not to live forever, but to live fully before forever comes. Outro. The path continues. The sea rests beneath the moonlight. The waves move softly like the pulse of the world. In the distance, a wind chime sings a single gentle note, a sound that feels both ending and beginning at once. You've walked a long path through this story. You've crossed mountains of wisdom and valleys of silence, and now, as the journey ends, you stand at the edge of something new, a quiet, open field called today. The journey never truly ends. Ikigai is not a destination. It's not something to find once and keep forever. It's a rhythm, like breathing. You lose it sometimes, and then you return to it. There will be mornings when you feel lost, days when you question everything. That's natural. That's life speaking, reminding you to look inward again. Whenever that happens, don't chase the light. Just stop. Breathe. The light will come to you. Because Ikigai is not found through effort. It appears through presence. The gentle reminder. Every sunrise you wake to is a small miracle. Every person you meet is a teacher. Every breath is a gift you did not earn, yet are blessed to receive. The world is not waiting for your perfection. It's waiting for your attention. Look closer. The morning dew on the leaf, the laugh of a child, the smell of rain on old wood, the warmth of your own heartbeat. These are not background details. They are the secret chapters of your Ikigai, written in everyday moments. The gift of stillness. Before you move on, take a moment to be still. Close your eyes. Listen, not to the world outside, but the one within. There is a voice there, soft, ancient, and patient. It knows where you are meant to go. You don't have to rush anymore. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to fix yourself. You only have to return to yourself. The Eternal Flame Ikigai is not just about what you do. It's about how you do it. With care, with curiosity, with gratitude. When you cook, cook with love. When you work, work with heart. When you rest, rest with peace. That's how simple acts become sacred rituals. That's how ordinary days become extraordinary lives. The flame of Ikigai burns quietly, not in grand moments, but in the humble act of being alive. The promise. So when this recording fades to silence, make yourself a promise, a gentle one, that you will wake each day with intention, that you will seek beauty even in broken things, that you will love without fear of endings, that you will live not perfectly, but truly. The world doesn't need you to be flawless. It needs you to be awake, to be kind, to be human. That is the quiet revolution of Ikigai, a life lived with meaning, one small, beautiful moment at a time. The closing breath. The waves still move, the stars still shine, and you are still here. This right now is enough. Take a deep breath, feel your heart, and whisper softly to yourself. Open quote, "I am alive. I am grateful. I have found my way home." Close quote, that is your Ikigai, and your journey has only just begun.